Today we're looking into Luigi Mangioni. He's the individual accused in that December 2024 killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Yeah, it's a case that really grabbed headlines. You have this academically successful guy from a, wealthy Maryland family.
Right, prominent family, and now he's at the center of this huge, very polarizing situation.
Exactly. So our mission here really is to unpack it all. Go beyond the headlines using the info we have, background, legal stuff, public reaction.
Try and get a clear picture of the complexities. Okay, so who is Luigi Mangioni?
Born 98 in Maryland, comes from money, family involved in health services, resorts, even media.
A cousin's a state delegate, I read. The family put out a statement, right, expressing shock.
They did. Shock, prayers, the usual in these awful circumstances. Education-wise, though, he was really sharp. Valedictorian, robotics captain.
Then University of Pennsylvania got both a bachelor's and master's in engineering, AI focus.
Cum laude, math minor, honor society. Even interned at Firaxis Games, they make civilization.
So a really bright trajectory, it seems. What about work?
Worked remotely as a data engineer for TrueCar for a few years, till 2023. Also did some counseling at a Stanford pre-college thing one summer. Seems he traveled quite a bit, too.
But then things changed. He sort of dropped off the map, became isolated.
Yeah, that seems to be a key part. His mom filed a missing person report in San Francisco late last year. Hadn't heard from him since July 2024.
And that report actually helped police identify him later. So tragic.
It really is. And this isolation seems linked, potentially, to some serious health issues.
The back pain, chronic pain, right? Spondylolisthesis.
Yeah, that's a vertebral slipping. He apparently described it online, maybe read it, as excruciating, devastating, really affecting his life.
Talked about frustrations, getting treatment, dealing with the healthcare system. There was that x-ray photo he posted.
Like suggesting spinal surgery, screws, a rod. Seems he had a fusion around July 2023.
Initially maybe felt better, but the pain persisted. Could that have impacted his mental state, his withdrawal?
It's a definite possibility. Chronic pain is incredibly taxing. He was apparently reading books on back pain and surgery, too. The timing seems to fit with the increased isolation.
Okay, so let's shift to the alleged crime. December 4th, 2024. Brian Thompson shot outside a hotel in Midtown Manhattan.
A very public place. Surveillance video showed a masked gunman.
And the investigation pieced together a timeline suggesting the suspect came from Atlanta by bus before Thanksgiving.
Used a fake name, Mark Rosario, fake New Jersey license to check into a hostel, then fled the scene on an e-bike through Central Park.
The evidence they found is pretty specific. Shell casings from a 9mm.
With words handwritten on them. Delay, deny, depose. Very pointed.
And the gun itself, a 3D printed ghost gun.
Loaded Glock magazine, 3D printed suppressor. Ballistics apparently matched the casings. Found when Mangioni was arrested.
Then there's the manifesto, handwritten, 3 pages.
Yeah, about 260 words. Expressing a lot of hostility towards corporate America, especially healthcare and insurance. Criticizing profits while life expectancy drops.
Phrases like, "These parasites had it coming." Apologized for the strife, but said it had to be done. Claimed he acted alone.
The writing style was described as, well, maybe showing his Ivy League background, but also kind of poorly written, self-important.
They also found notebook entries, right? More hostility towards insurance executives. One from August mentioned targeting insurance.
It checks every box.
Yeah.
And another in October about wanting to whack an insurance CEO.
Plus, multiple fake ideas, the backpack matching the gunman's. He was wearing a blue medical mask at arrest.
So the alleged motive seems pretty clear from the prosecution's view. Premeditated, ideological, driven by anger at the health insurance industry.
Choosing that location during an investor conference seemed designed to maximize impact, make a statement.
Definitely. Some people even drew comparisons to Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, in terms of mindset. Though, interestingly, United Healthcare said neither Mangioni nor his family were ever clients.
So maybe UHC was targeted just because they're the biggest?
Snowball. That seems likely. Or maybe he knew about the conference specifically. Hard to say for sure.
Okay, the legal side. Arrested December 9th in Altoona, Pennsylvania after a tip. Seemed visibly shaken.
Gave a fake ID at first. Initially fought extradition to New York, but then waived it.
Now facing charges in both states. Pennsylvania, forgery, firearm stuff. New York, a big indictment, 11 counts.
Including first and second-degree murder under terrorism statutes. Also weapon possession, forged instrument.
He pleaded not guilty to those state charges. Max penalty there is life without parole.
And then there are the federal charges. Murder using a firearm during a crime of violence which carries a potential death penalty.
Also, use of a silencer, interstate stalking resulting in death. He pleaded not guilty to those two.
The U.S. Attorney General is seeking the death penalty, citing premeditation, calling it political violence, risk to bystanders.
Defense is fighting that, obviously, calling it a political stunt, raising due process concerns, issues, getting evidence. They even have a website for updates.
It's going to be a long legal battle. He's currently held in Brooklyn. No prior criminal record, which is also striking.
Now, the public reaction. This has been intense and really divided.
Absolutely. You see this folk hero narrative emerge online versus, just calling him a killer. Hashtag Free Luigi trended. Protests with supportive signs.
Some people seem to venerate him for supposedly taking a stand against corporate greed, especially in healthcare.
But officials and others strongly condemn that, emphasizing you just can't have extrajudicial killings is fundamentally wrong.
So what's driving the support? Seems like a lot of pent-up frustration with the healthcare system, denials, costs, profits.
That, plus maybe empathy for his chronic pain story, and this perception, for some, of him taking direct action against injustice.
Demographics play a role too, right? Polls show higher support among younger adults, liberals. Some commentary even mentioned his appearance, the hot assassin thing, weirdly.
It's manifested in memes, fan accounts, merchandise like Mommy's Little CEO Killer.
Wow, and fundraising. They've raised a lot for his defense.
And approaching $1 million, last I heard. He's apparently getting supportive mail, too.
The polling data really confirms the split. Different polls, YouGov, Emerson, NORC, all show these divisions, especially by age and political leaning. Significant minorities express favorable views or sympathy.
It's not a majority, but it's a noticeable segment. Some polls also asked about responsibility, finding people blame both Mangioni and factors within the insurance industry.
What are the wider implications here?
Well, it's definitely intensified calls for healthcare reform. There's even a proposed Luigi Mangioni initiative in California.
And sparked a big debate about vigilantism, concerns about normalizing violence, extremist groups potentially latching onto it.
It reflects this deep societal anger and polarization we're seeing everywhere. Some compare the divided reaction to the Kyle Rittenhouse case, and it highlights the power of digital platforms in shaping these narratives.
Businesses, especially in health insurance, are reportedly boosting security too.
Understandable reaction.
So let's just quickly recap. We've got Luigi Mangioni, bright background, serious health issues, now facing grave charges for allegedly killing a CEO. And this incredibly split public reaction fueled by deep-seated frustrations, especially about healthcare.
It really lays bare some raw nerves in society.
Which brings us to our final thought for you, the listener. Thinking about all these different perspectives, the polls, the reactions, what does this case ultimately reveal about public trust in our big institutions right now?
Yeah, and how can someone, whatever the court decides, become such a potent symbol of this wider discontent? What are the long-term effects when we're so divided on basic ideas of justice and accountability? Something to definitely mull over.